Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well and enjoying their weekend so far. It's quite a sunny day here again in London, so it feels appropriate to be doing sun salutations. I've put the music links in the chat if you would like to use it. They're also in the video description if you're doing this video at a later time. So to tell you a bit about the Hatha approach to sun salutations, or Surya Namaskar in Sanskrit. Sun salutations are a sequence of 12 asanas that are used on a physical level to loosen up the joints, stretch the muscles, and massage internal organs. But one general principle within Hatha is that the asana practice uses the body to move beyond the body. And so particularly in the sun salutation sequence, it's quite a devotional practice. And so it in particular is working with your body to activate energy, to enhance or build up prana. So prana is the life force in the view of the yogis. And so particularly when I'm explaining all of the different postures, I'll be explaining what you should be feeling in your body, and so it will seem quite body-centric. And especially when you're new to the sequence, you will find that you will be focused on your body to make sure that you're getting into the postures correctly, and that you're stretching in the right areas. But ideally over time, you can forget about the body a bit and think about your breath and observe your mind. And so this is a sequence of asanas that will enable you to do that once you're more familiar. And I also wanted to mention that it's quite common when doing sun salutations to maybe feel a bit dizzy or lightheaded. It involves a lot of breathing and a lot of forward and backward bending. And so if you find yourself feeling a bit dizzy, just take a moment, either come to a restful position in child's pose, or just standing still and wait for that to pass before carrying on. And that is true of at any point within the practice. If you feel like you need to have a bit of a moment and have a bit of a rest, then just take child's pose. So we will do some joint movements as we did in the last class to begin, but we'll go a bit more quickly than we did in the last class. And then just a few energy activation poses, and then we'll move into the sun salutations. So, with no further ado, let's begin. So you can start by coming to a comfortable seated position. Take a few deep breaths. Allow yourself to calm down, to make sure that you are present in this space, that you are present in your body. Taking a few deep breaths. Feeling the ground underneath you. Maybe bringing your hands into prayer. And opening your eyes to begin the practice. So we'll extend our legs, and we'll start with toe movements. So making sure that your sits bones are making proper contact with the mat, and beginning to curl the toes outwards and bending them back towards you. Curling the toes outwards and bending them back towards you. We'll do 2 more. Taking deep inhales and exhales. And now moving on to the ankles. Pointing your toes out. Exhale. Inhale, bringing your toes back towards your face. Exhale out. And inhale back towards you. Exhale. And inhale. And now let's start with the ankle rotation. First going in a clockwise direction. Really stretching your ankles to the maximum. And if you are finding it painful in your back to sit up during these joint movements, feel free to move towards a wall and use a wall for back support. And going in the other direction with your ankles, inhaling and exhaling. I'm hearing a lot of cracking in my feet. I don't know about anyone else. Okay, wonderful. So the ankles should feel nice and loose. And now we'll move on to the knees. So holding the leg from the hamstring, we'll inhale, extending the leg up, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll start to rotate from the knee. First going in a clockwise direction. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll go a few times in each direction. And going the other way. Inhale and exhale. So with all of these knee rotations, you should be feeling quite a strong stretch in your hamstring. Okay, and now we'll bend the knee and bring the leg so that it is parallel to the floor. And you can place your right knee into your right elbow, and then depending on your flexibility, you can either grab the left foot with the left hand Or you can place the left foot into your left elbow and, keeping your back straight, start to rotate back and forth. You should feel a nice stretch down through your glutes. And we're bringing some mobility into the hips. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, and now we can let that go. Shake out the legs. And moving on to the left side. Grabbing your left leg from the hamstring. We'll inhale, extend the leg up. And exhale, bend the leg down. Inhale, up. Flexing the toes towards your face. And down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then rotation, clockwise direction. And in the other direction. One more time. And bringing your left leg parallel to the mat. Left knee into the left elbow. And then the left foot either being held by the right hand or going into the right elbow, and begin rotations. Again, feeling that stretch through your glutes, and bringing some movement into the hips. A few more. Okay, and release, shake out the legs, bringing the feet into butterfly. I'll turn towards the camera so that you can see a bit more clearly. And starting to bring the knees up and down. Inhaling and exhaling, and bringing them into a wider range of motion, trying to hit the knees on the ground. Okay, and slowly bring that to a close. Reaching the hands over the head, and we'll do some finger movements, clenching the fist and releasing, clenching and releasing, clenching as hard as you can, and extending the fingers as much as you can while you inhale and exhale. And rotating the wrists in one direction a few times, continuing to breathe, and in the other direction. And bringing the hands down to the shoulders, Inhale, elbows together and up. And exhale, extending the elbows behind you and down. Moving at your own pace. Connecting your motion to your breath. We'll do 4 in one direction and then change. Okay, changing directions. Two more. Okay, now the neck. Right ear to right shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale up. And now we'll bring our chin to our chest. Exhale. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, up and back. And now rotating in a clockwise direction. We'll go 3 times around. And in the other direction. Okay, wonderful. So we'll do a few energy activation poses. So we'll start with rowing the boat. So bringing your legs out in front of you, hip width apart. Your feet are going to be hip width apart. And inhaling, bringing the arms up and over the head. Exhale, reach down and forward. Inhale, lean back and reach the arms up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, front and forward. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, front and forward. So this should be working your core muscles and stretching out your hamstrings as you come forward. And starting to build up energy in your body. And a few more in this direction. Okay, and now reversing. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and front. A few more. Last one. Okay. And now we'll do the seated twist. So bringing your feet to the width of the mat. Either grabbing your right shin with your left hand, or the knee, the shin, or the toe with your left hand, extending the right arm behind you and gazing back at your right hand. Really feeling a twist throughout your whole core. And continuing to breathe. And changing to the other side. Trying to keep your spine as straight as possible. And we'll just do a few more on each side. And switch. Inhaling and exhaling. And last time on the left side. Wonderful. So now we'll start doing some stretches to loosen up for sun salutations. So we'll start with cat-cow. Inhale, arching the back, coming into cow. And exhale, bending the back into cat. Always initiating the movement from the tailbone. And then allowing the spine to follow. Moving at your own pace. I find it helps to move around a bit to get deeper into each of the postures and really feel that stretch coming into the kidneys and into the thoracic area of the spine. So now we'll push our hips back to go into child's pose. Take a few breaths there. And on an inhale, we'll come forward into cobra. So in cobra pose, you'll keep your elbows bent a bit and be pushing your hips down towards the mat and feeling a stretch through your back. Exhale, back into child's pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And coming back into a tabletop position. So bringing your right foot in between your hands, straightening your left leg, and we'll just open up the hips by bouncing them a bit. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing the right foot back to the left and bringing the left foot forward and starting to bounce the hips. Make sure that you're continuing to breathe. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now bringing the right foot to the front, keeping the feet hip width apart, and we'll do a forward fold. So you can either grab your ankles or your toes to pull yourself downwards. Making sure that your legs stay straight. And just taking a few breaths before we start our sun salutations. Maybe with every exhale, going deeper into the fold. Bringing your hands to your hips. And on an inhale, standing all the way up. Wonderful. Okay, now we'll begin the sun salutations. I hope everyone's feeling nice and loose and warm. So to begin the sun salutations, we'll stand with our feet together, feeling the contact with the mat, taking a few breaths. So the first pose in sun salutations is pranamasana, or prayer pose. So bringing the hands together in front of the chest. And then on an inhale, I'm going to explain this before doing it because it's quite difficult to talk when I'm in this posture. So Hasta Uttanasana, we reach our arms up and over our heads. And to take this pose fully, you want to arch your back so that you feel a stretch through the entire front side of the body. So that's going to look different for everyone. So just listen to your body and stop when you feel that stretch. Don't push yourself to get more of a bend just because you feel like you want to or you should. Just arch your back until you feel that stretch, and then that's what the pose should be for you. So Hasta Uttanasana, and exhaling, bending forward, Padahastasana. So Padahastasana means feet and hand pose. So the feet and hands arrive next to each other on the mat, and you take a forward fold. Then on an inhale, we're going to step our right foot back, bend the right knee so that it makes contact with the ground. Come up onto the fingertips, because that will allow space to be created between your abdomen and your thigh. And looking up at the ceiling, you should feel a stretch through the thoracic area of your spine, as well as in the front of your hips. And then on an exhale, we'll bring the left foot back to the right for Parvatasana, or mountain pose. And the feet should be touching, so they should be right next to each other. And on an inhale, bring your knees down for Ashtanga Namaskar. Exhaling, bringing your chin and your chest down to the mat. Inhale, Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. So the elbows should be a bit bent. The hips should be stretching down towards the floor, and you should be feeling a good stretch throughout the spine and looking up at the ceiling. And on an exhale, we'll push back into Parvatasana, mountain pose. And you should feel a good stretch through your hamstrings as the heels push down towards the floor. Inhaling Ashwa Sanchalanasana again, bringing the left foot forward. So the return forwards is always a repetition of the sequence which took you back to the mat. So on the way backwards, we moved the right foot first, which left the left foot forward and the right foot back. So when we're coming back upwards, again, we're going to bring the left foot forwards and leave the right foot back. So it's just the same side repeated again. And again, coming up onto the fingertips so that you can create space between the thigh and the abdomen, and gazing up towards the ceiling, pushing the hips down towards the mat. And on an exhale, bringing the right foot forward to meet the left. Coming back into Padahastasana, forward fold. And on an inhale, reaching up and back for Asta Uttanasana. Again, feeling that stretch through the anterior side of the body. And exhale, Pranamasana, prayer pose. So now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, reaching the arms up, Asta Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Padahastasana. Inhale, taking the left foot back, the left knee down on the mat, up on the fingertips so that you have space between the thigh and the abdomen, and gazing up at the ceiling. Exhale, pushing back into Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, bringing both knees down. And exhale, Ashtang Namaskar, bringing the chin and the chest to the mat. Inhale, push up to Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, with the elbows bent and the hips pushing down towards the mat. And exhale, pushing back into mountain pose. So inhale, bringing the right leg forward, left knee down, bringing the hands onto the fingertips and gazing up at the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reaching up, Asta Uttanasana. And exhale, Pranamasana. Great, so that's the whole sequence. Now let's run through it a couple of times. I was explaining a lot during those two sequences, so you probably weren't able to follow the inhale and exhale that should correspond with each asana, but hopefully in the next couple of times you can sync up your breath with each movement in order to activate the pranic energy. So taking a moment to catch our breath. And let's begin. So inhale, Asta Uttanasana. Exhale, Padahastasana, fold forward. Inhale, right foot back, Shavasana. Exhale, Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, chest and chin down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, crow pose. Exhale, pushing the hips up and back for Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, bringing the left foot forward, Chalanasana. Exhale, forward fold, Padahastasana. Inhale, up and back, Asta Uttanasana. And exhale, Pranamasana. Inhale, arms up, Asta Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Padahastasana. Inhale, left foot back, Chalanasana. Exhale, hips back, Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, chest and chin down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, hips up and back, Parvatasana. Inhale, right foot forward, Chalanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Padahastasana. Inhale, reach up and back, Asta Uttanasana. Exhale, hands in front of the chest, Pranamasana. So we'll just do one more time each side, just to have a little bit more practice. Then we'll do some twists and then move into Shavasana. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, right foot back, knee down. Exhale, Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, chest and chin down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, left foot forward, Chalanasana. Stretching the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, Pranamasana. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, right foot back, mountain pose. Inhale, knees down, chest and chin down. Exhaling. Inhale, cobra pose, pushing the hips towards the mat. Exhale, Parvatasana, mountain pose. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee down, stretching the thoracic area. Exhale, forward fold, Padahastasana. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, Pranamasana. And exhaling, releasing the hands towards the sides. Taking a moment. And coming down to the mat in a comfortable seated position. We'll do a seated twist, so bending the left knee and tucking the left ankle under the right hip, bringing the right foot to the outside of the left knee, and the right hand behind your hips. So you can either hug the right knee into your chest, or if you're able to, you can reach up and bending your left elbow, hook it to the outside of your right knee and gaze over your right shoulder. And as you inhale, straightening your back. And exhale, maybe you go deeper into the twist. Inhaling and exhaling. And release. Coming to the other side. So bending the right knee, tucking the left ankle under the left hip, bending the left knee and bringing the left foot to the outside of the right knee, bringing the left hand behind your hip, and you can either just hug the left knee into your chest, or if you're able to, you can reach your right arm up and then bending your right elbow, hooking your right elbow to the outside of your left knee and gazing over your left shoulder. And continuing to breathe. And on your inhale, straightening your spine. And exhaling, going deeper into the stretch. And breathing in and out, starting to calm down from the practice. And releasing. And let's do a short forward fold just to continue bringing down the energy a bit. So reaching upwards and bending from the hips As you go down, reach forward, keeping your spine straight. And you can either grab your shins, your ankles, your toes, whatever feels comfortable to you. And bringing your head towards your knees. Starting to take very deep and slow breaths. And same as the twist, on an inhale, straighten your spine, and on an exhale, maybe going deeper into the fold. Really bringing the energy levels back down. And on an inhale, sitting up. And making your way down to the mat. We'll do a supine twist and then move into shavasana. So bringing the arms out to the sides, shifting the hips over to the left, and letting the knees drop over to the right. You can either leave your arms as they are, or placing your right hand onto your knees, enhancing the stretch. And if it feels good, you can gaze over towards your left hand. We'll be here for a minute or so. Allowing yourself to sink into the mat. And sink into the stretch. And bringing your knees up, shifting the hips over to the right, and letting your knees drop over to the left. Either leaving your arms out to the sides, or placing your left hand onto your knees, enhancing the stretch. And if it feels good, gazing over at your right hand. And we'll be here for another minute. Trying to relax all of the muscles of the body. And bringing the knees up, bringing your hips back to center, straightening your legs, and coming into shavasana. Trying to identify any areas of tension in the body and allowing them to release. Taking a scan of your limbs and your core. And we'll be here for a few minutes. Allowing yourself to gaze inward, observing the body and the mind. And bringing some movement back into your fingers and your toes. And your wrists and your ankles. Reaching your arms up over your head. Finding as much length as you can between your fingers and your toes. And rolling onto your left side. Taking a moment. And when you're ready, pushing up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Taking a moment to observe your body. Come back into this space. I'm feeling the afternoon sun on my face. And bringing your hands together, rubbing them generating some warmth. And spreading that to your face and your shoulders, your arms, your abdomen, your legs, your feet. Rubbing your hands together again. Covering your eyes. Blinking a few times behind your hands. And taking your hands away. And taking a moment to show gratitude to yourself and your body for showing up and doing this practice today. And bringing your hands together. Namaste. Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to reach out with any questions. As I said, as you get more familiar with the sun salutations, they'll make more sense with your body. So thank you for coming today. Next week we will do a class which hopefully will involve the everything from last week, a bit of sun salutations, kind of a complete all-around Hatha asana sequence. So maybe see you there. Thank you again for coming today, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.